Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our TGIF Friday and Product Owner episode, this week with Renee Troughton. Hey, Renee, welcome to the show.
Hey, Vasco. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday indeed. So product owner it is. And of course, there are some amazing product owners. We'll talk about one of those in a minute. But there are also some product owners that, through their actions or lack of knowledge and experience, create enormous problems for our teams. And that's why we need to know what those anti-patterns are that product owners may adopt. So let's start there, Renee. Share with us potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
So I think it's probably a set of patterns, but the set sort of is under the guise of a product owner who doesn't know anything about managing their product. And so what I mean by that is that they don't think of their things as I need to have a roadmap or a strategy for my product, or I don't go out and speak to my customers at all, or, for things that I think are potentially value, I don't test and learn against those hypotheses and assumptions. So, the challenge would be people who are product owners who think about their product as it's just a backlog that I prioritize and I get some detailed requirements from stakeholders and I give that to the team. That's not empowering the team, and it's probably leading you to building the wrong thing just faster. So, the best product owners I know are ones that focus on building the thing right, but importantly, building the right thing.
So what do you think drives product owners to kind of forget about this, let's call it direction setting or grounding aspects of product ownership, like the roadmap or the vision or the strategy, and go straight into managing, let's call it the nitty-gritty details of user stories? Like, what drives people to take that approach?
I take a very empathetic look at these individuals. These are people that have maybe fallen into the role, that aren't necessarily passionate about the role. They don't know what great looks like. They've never seen great themselves. They're also very time poor. Like, my take on the product owner role is it is one of the hardest roles in an organization from a time perspective. It depends whether you have analysts in the squad, depends how you set up. Like, in a lot of organizations I work in, there's high legislative, there's high risk, there's compliance, there's, as a team, you're also doing, fail and fix work. There's just so much pipeline of work coming in that it's hard to even have breathing space to think strategically. And so because they're always drowning in the day-to-day, they're not investing in taking a step back and looking at that strategic pipeline. Is this the right work that we should be doing? And actually really critically assessing for all these little micro bits of work that comes through, should we be doing it? Is there something that's of bigger bang for my buck as a squad?
I really like how you call it the strategic pipeline, because it really is, right? Like, product owners are constantly bombarded with ideas from the team, from other teams, from the customers, from support people, from management, from other product owners. They're constantly bombarded with ideas and requests and sometimes even demands. And if product owners don't have a very clear understanding of what the strategy and the vision is for the product, who are the really important users and customers, and who are other users and customers that are not as important, it's very hard to make decisions, because the amount of requests and demands coming in is so large that without a guiding North Star, if you will, the only thing we can do is tackle as many of those as we could.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, to go back to that human element that we were talking about yesterday, often people don't feel vulnerable because this is quite a significant leadership role. And so to be vulnerable to say, I don't know some things, is also really hard for this group of people. And to put themselves out there with, I have these hypotheses and assumptions that I've got to test and validate. Again, that puts a level of scrutiny on themselves that they may not feel comfortable on. And so there's a real confidence that good product owners need. At the same time, that's not just a confidence, it's a vulnerability that I could be wrong, that I might not be the best and the smartest person and the biggest SME on this product until I go test some things.
Absolutely. And this confidence needs to come with what you just said, like this ability to think that, okay, maybe this could be wrong. So it's confidence, but at the same time also vulnerability, or being humble to the data coming in and being able to understand, okay, maybe this was the wrong decision, and that's okay. I don't need to be committed to a decision I made before I knew better, right?
Yeah, and then on top of that, I feel that there's a lot of organisations that still have a bit of old school thinking around, the people that I hire and I pay them a lot of money for, they should have all these answers. And so is there even safety to fail in these organisations for these product owners? And I think in a lot of cases there is not.
Yeah, that's a very good and important aspect, because if there isn't safety, then of course there can't be vulnerability either.
Yeah.
But there aren't only product owners in trouble. Some product owners are actually excellent at the work that they do. So share with us one of those examples, potentially the best product owner you've ever worked with, Renee.
Yes, there was one product owner who actually was a chief product owner. So in the area that I was in at the time, we had about 13 teams at one stage delivering this one product, and there was a few product owners underneath them. But what really made them especially different is a few things. Number one, whenever they interacted with all of the product owners, not just in the area that I was in, but even broader as well, they really iterated, I think, 5 key principles quite consistently. I can't remember the 5 off the top of my head, but the one thing that did really shape my thinking at that time was analytics from day one. And so they kept pushing that it's not enough to build something brand new. We have to know straight away day one if this is working or not. We actually have to understand our customers' behaviour day one or not. And they said this is one of our most highest priority items that we need to deliver across the board. I think they also knew innovation very well. And that's not something that we often think of in product owners as a key talent. They knew what was happening out in Silicon Valley. They regularly spent time there. They knew what the direction was happening in that space. So they knew what the market was going towards. They had a clear vision of the product that they were really able to sell the dream on really well. And they also were really good at, and it sounds really weird, but giving urgency. So at the time, we were in a bit of what we call a space race. There was another organisation that was trying to build something very similar. One of the leaders at the time left and went to that organisation, taking the roadmap and some of the IP with them. And so we knew it was a bit of a competition as to who was going to go to the market first. And so they rallied us in a way that we knew there was an urgency to it, but it was never an option to compromise on quality. And that was beautiful.
That's the best combination, right? Like the sense of mission, right? Like this urgency that you talk about, the sense of mission, the importance of the work, but also the balancing effect of never compromising on quality. I think that's a really amazing product owner if they can do that. Renee, it's been a pleasure. We're getting close to the end of this week of conversations, amazing conversations. But before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Agile Renee. I have for a while had my own blog site called agileforest.com. So you can find some tips and tricks around scaling Agile there as well. I have a defunct podcast that I haven't talked on for a while, which is the Agile Revolution, but it has like hundreds of podcasts on it where I can speak with. I know you probably know Craig Smith and Tony Ponton. So we have interviewed a lot of people there as well. So some really great interviews there where you can sort of understand some of the basics and some of the different ways of thinking from an Agile perspective.
Absolutely. We'll put the link to all of those in the show notes for people to check it out. There's so much great work done by Renee and many others. So do check out the podcast. I'm sure you will find topics that are of interest. And why not to follow up conversation on LinkedIn? Get connected. We are a community learning together how to develop software better after all. Renee, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thanks, Vesco, and thank you everybody for listening.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.